Welcome back up top, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Soltis joined alongside by Andrew Meehan. And Andrew, an exciting game I think we're in here for today. As overtime loss for Eastern in that last game, 95-93, very high scoring affair up there in Southern Maine just under a month ago. So it'll be interesting to see, I think, what happens here today.
Absolutely, Jared. You know, that was such an interesting game, not just because it went to overtime, 95-93. I think the tides are going to turn here a little bit because you know how this squad for the Warriors feeds off this energy in the gymnasium. So if we get a full, packed house here, which is looking pretty full right now, they're going to feed off that energy and they can make a run here.
Of course, Jake McCarthy after an 18-point, 7-rebound, 3-block game and a loss to UMass Dartmouth on Wednesday night, getting the start here today. So McCarthy going to try to be a difference maker in this game here tonight. Officials are ready, players are ready. Opening tip just a moment away.
I like that move by head coach Bill Geithner. Giving Jake McCarthy the start, he certainly earned it with 18 points in that last one.
So Warriors will start off with it. Close over to Muckle. Flashing cut from McCarthy. That's going to be hit away by Wood. And now Thomas, here he comes in transition. Second leading scorer in the Little East Conference, Jacoby Thomas.
He's averaging 21 per game, someone the Warriors are going to have to look out for.
This is a drive, a kick back out to Roberts. He'll pull, that's blocked by Thomas. Now here come the Warriors in transitions. They have numbers. Euro step from Thomas. Flicks it up off the square, but Close is there to finish it home.
What a finish by Thomas Close. And how about those moves by Seth Thomas? He wasn't able to get that layup initially, but Thomas Close, perfect timing on that one to put it back up for two.
Good hustle there by Close in transition to follow the miss there from Thomas. Now here's Wood. He's going to get it over to Hawes, the freshman guard, getting a start here today. And that'll see the hands of the leading scorer on this team, Thomas. Wood's going to come set a screen. Back over to Hawes. Now a kick over to Haney. Here's Roberts now. He'll pull. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Good defensive possession there for the Warriors.
I'll tell you what, they got to keep it up. They got to get the jump on early against Southern Maine. And that defense is showing. They've got to keep going. They put the pedal to the metal, throughout the rest of this game with that defense.
This defense has been a little inconsistent for the Warriors. Now a driving cut from Jake Colligan over to Jake McCarthy, and McCarthy flicks it home.
We talk about how good of a shooter Jake Colligan is, but how about that pass? In the air, he's able to fake the layup. He finds Jake McCarthy under the basket, turns into two.
Now it's over to Roberts. He works on Thomas. He'll pull from 15, no good. Skying in for the rebound now is Thomas.
Seth Thomas leading the team in rebounds. 128 goes to show right there.
And Thomas thought about a pass over to Muckle, but Thomas came flying out of nowhere. Jacoby Thomas, that is. Two Thomases in this game. Seth Thomas, Jacoby Thomas. And two very good players at that.
How about Seth Thomas missing that last one against UMass Dartmouth due to an illness? We had the chance to talk with head coach Geithner before they headed out for that one on the road. And now he's back to full health, and he's producing some pretty good numbers so far in the first couple minutes of this one.
Now here comes Haney. He'll rise up top. That's going to be long, and a hard hit to the floor. Jake Colligan, he's rolling around in pain. Now he's going to rise to his feet. Going to be an official timeout as they wait for Colligan there, but he hit the deck hard, skying up for that defensive rebound.
And that is a sigh of relief right there if you're a Warriors fan, because Jake Colligan going down, that's someone that you do not want to miss in this lineup. And for a second, that was a pretty hard hit, and we didn't know if he was rolling around to get out of the way or if he was in writhing pain, but he's able to get up, and he's moving pretty well.
Of course, we talk about Colligan averaging 26.2 points per game in his last 5. One of those 5 games included the 44-point performance against Southern Maine. Now Haney, he's trapped in the corner. He'll try to work it over to Thomas. Official's going to rule that out of bounds. Last touch by Colligan.
I don't know. It looked like Southern Maine was able to tap that before it went out of bounds. But how about Corey Muckle and Jake Colligan producing some defense right now, making them feel uncomfortable, and that's what they got to do with Southern Maine.
Now here's Roberts. He'll pull from 3 over Thomas. Rebound in the hands of McCarthy. Warriors looking to push early on here. Here's Colligan. He'll rise from 15. He'll hit. Number 2 in white, Jake Colligan. You could write him a check.
unbelievable. You cannot let him get open. You cannot give him those opportunities if you're the Southern Maine defense. Jake Colligan can pretty much shoot from anywhere on that floor if you give him the ball.
He's been doing that a lot this year, getting to his spots. And now it's going to be Haney. He's going to rise and hit to put Southern Maine on the board just a little over 3 minutes into this contest. 6-2 to score.
Haney, the third leader in points scored for Southern Maine with 11 per game. He's shooting 35% from the three and 41 from the field. Another player on that offense that the Warriors are going to have to stop.
Nice post action there for McCarthy. Lob pass over the top from Colligan. And 4 early points here for Jake McCarthy.
Well, it's easy to get the pass to him. Look at the size of him. He's a big man, and he can make big plays into that basket. I say you keep feeding the ball to him. Let's get to 20 points today.
That's what we saw in that game against UMass Dartmouth, Andrew. It just seems like they couldn't guard him. There's now good weak side help from Close there. In transition to the Warriors. Over to Muckle. He'll drive baseline now. Try to get it to McCarthy. He's going to get tied up by Haney. And that's going to warrant a jump ball. Possession arrow going to go back in favor of the Huskies.
You know, it's a bit of a tough pass for McCarthy. You know, you're within that close of a range between him, Corey Muckle heading under that basket. If you're Jake McCarthy, you're probably thinking that Muckle's going to try to finish, but dumps the ball on him last minute. Might have been a little miscommunication, but McCarthy's able to also regain the pass. Just doesn't go their favor.
Now here's a big block from McCarthy. As Wood was trying to get something, McCarthy says no. Now here comes Colligan. He'll ball fake over to Thomas. He'll put up a floater from about 10 feet and get it to go.
He loves those floaters from the field, and he's not going to stop doing them.
And that's going to warrant a timeout from head coach Carl Henriksen.
Tell you what, this is the momentum boost that you need. A home game in the Little East Conference with the playoffs on the line.
So 10-2 the score here. Early on is a fast start for the Warriors, as we're going to send it to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have more of a fast start here for the Warriors. Don't go anywhere.
Committed early, and then we had about 5 or 6 other kids follow. And Jill was just, she's 5'9", undersized post kid, kind of like Maya, you know, not real tall, but awesome student. I mean, she was a co-side All-American academically, you know, first team All-American her senior year. And our program then doesn't go back to back without her.
Welcome back up top, ladies and gentlemen. As now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Tyler Madden, on the sideline. Tyler, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. As you mentioned before, as these games are going on, Jake Colligan has done well historically against Southern Maine, finishing with 44 points their last matchup, 95-93 overtime loss at Southern Maine earlier this year. A little different starting lineup for Eastern this game. Jake McCarthy getting the start today after he had 18 points in Eastern's last matchup against UMass Dartmouth. Let's send it back up to Andrew and Jared.
Thank you, Tyler. As now a driving finish there from Thomas. He's going to get that one hoop plus the foul. He'll go to the free throw line to try to convert a three-point play. But what Tyler was talking about is that strong game Jake McCarthy had in their last matchup against UMass Dartmouth. An impressive performance, of course, a career-high 18 points, and then 7 rebounds and 3 blocks to go along with that. So very impressive, to say the least.
And the decision to start him today by Coach Geithner is going pretty well on both sides of the ball. Offense, he's producing some points. And how about that denial under the basket turns into another layup.
So some confusion down the floor. I thought there was an and one, and scoreboard did as well. So some confusion there. Not sure why Thomas was awarded 2 free throws there. But nonetheless, ball back in the hands of Eastern Connecticut. It'll be Thomas on the right wing. Now back up to McCarthy at the point. Colligan working now. He'll give a ball fake. Now to McCarthy. A screen for Close. 7 on the shot clock. Here comes Colligan driving. Nice pass over to McCarthy and one. Hoop plus the foul. Jake McCarthy having himself a great first half.
Jake McCarthy now with 5 points. The opportunity to get to 6. Right now, before that, he was tied with Colligan. 4 so far in this game for each of them. Jake McCarthy, keep going. Let's get to 22 today. Maybe 24.
As Andrew, a lot of times what I like to say is confidence is really killer, as we're going to take another look at that play.
So you see Colligan was pretty close with McCarthy under that basket. He's able to get it to him. McCarthy puts it up for 2, and he draws the foul. Perfect play right there, and it ends for the Warriors pretty well.
So a fast start here. And Andrew, I was talking about this with you the other day about how I think this Warriors team wanted to come out and really kind of put Southern Maine into the ground, to say the least. A frustrating loss in that overtime loss up there on Southern Maine on January 18th. And a miraculous performance by Jake Colligan, but they just came up a little short.
Well, that's been the story for the Warriors so far in the 2019 season. Is I don't want to say coming up short, but that's just the unfortunate reality of it. They haven't been beaten in any of these games really by no more than 3 points. It's all just been coming down to the wire, and time has been on their side, and sometimes it hasn't. But that's just the unfortunate reality, and this could be a huge momentum boost, and they got to get some help from the Little East Conference if they want to get that last spot in the playoffs.
And the momentum boost coming from Jake McCarthy. He gets another tip in now, as he's having himself a great first half.
Talk about momentum boost. You got to be, if you're people like Corey Muckle and Seth Thomas, really anybody that's on that floor right now, you got to love seeing Jake McCarthy come out off the bench starting in this game and producing some numbers for the Warriors offense and defense.
As Andrew, you were talking about those close matchups that have been in conference, and a little by the numbers action here. 5 of the last 7 conference games have come from an average point differential of just 3 points. And Eastern has played 2 overtimes in that stretch and has 1-1 in those games. And all of those games saw the game-winning shot come within the last minute of regulation or overtime. So a lot of games this year where the Warriors coming up just short, as Thomas misses the second leg of the one-on-one. But it's just been a wild trend to see this year, all these close games, and the Warriors coming up on the short end of the stick on a lot of them.
You know, I think you're getting 110% out of these guys every single game. Again, coming up short in some of them, but they haven't given up. In any last second of those games, sometimes it's come in their favor, sometimes it hasn't. But this Warriors team is hungry, and they're right there.
Another big rebound there from McCarthy after Hendricks missed 3. So McCarthy earning his minutes here. Now a little zone defense being thrown at here from Southern Maine. They'll get it over to Colligan in the corner. He'll write him a check for 3. Jake Colligan.
Jake Colligan, how about him? Write him a check. He's going to cash out big today, I think, if he keeps making shots like those.
Southern Maine looking for a way to respond. Here's Hendricks. He's going to try to drive baseline. Nothing's doing there. Now into the post to LaFleur. He's going to rise. That one's not going to go. Into the hands of Muckle now.
Perfect defense by Thomas right there. Not drawing the foul, just puts his hands up and goes for a 3 right now.
As McCarthy was screaming, flashing to the paint, Thomas elected to take the 3 ever. Now the other Thomas, Jacoby Thomas, second leading scorer in the LEC, coming in transition. He loses it. Ball out of bounds, back in favor of the Huskies.
And look who's checking in for the Warriors right now. None other than Sharon Fowler, another big man.
And we talked about him in the pregame, Andrew, and Sharon Fowler, one of my favorite players in this Warriors team. He's been unbelievable this year.
Expect him to win the rebound game today, 128 total, 12th in the Little East Conference. He's got 85 defensive rebounds, 43 offensive.
As now Thomas, he'll try to rise up over Colligan. That one's not going to be able to fall. Now back into the hands of Roberts. Southern Maine working it around the perimeter. LaFleur has it. Roberts going to try to rise over Thomas again, and he gets it. Jair Roberts, that last matchup up in Southern Maine, he finished with 24 in that game to be the leading scorer.
Well, he's averaging 12 per game, second on the team for the Huskies in points scored. 33% from that three-pointer, and that was a pretty good one. Set Thomas right in the face of him. He's able to make it with ease.
Now a little in-and-out action. Over to Close. And Thomas Close able to get a 3 to go. So a nice pass there from Seth Thomas to find Thomas Close on the weak side. That's going to put the lead back up to 12.
Thomas Close showing, Jared Roberts said he can do that too as well.
Now Hendricks, he's going to pull a corner 3. That one's not going to fall. Fighting for the rebound with it is Muckle and Thomas.
Such a versatile player in Corey Muckle.
And a nice no-look pass by Colligan into the paint to Thomas, and Thomas just has to flick that one home. What a look-away pass by Jake Colligan.
We talked about it before. He made a great pass to Jake McCarthy earlier in this one, and he makes another one right here to Seth Thomas. What can't this kid do?
He's been unbelievable. There's now another rebound for Thomas, but he wants to run. Elects to pull it back out. They'll set up with Colligan. He's going to give Haney a ball fake. And now Close will reset. Sean Gashi now over to the scorer's table for the Warriors.
Another versatile bench player that the Warriors have in Sean Gashi.
Now here's Fowler. He's going to try to rise from 15. Not usually his shot. trying it there. Rebound in the hands of Hendricks.
Looked like Thomas was looking for some sort of call right there, but he's not able to get it.
Roberts gives Thomas a jab step. Finger roll finish at the rim for Jair Roberts.
He can play from the field too. He can drive towards the basket. You just got to figure out a way to close up those lanes and make it tough for Roberts to find openings like that.
Now Colligan, he's going to pull from deep, and he can write himself another check. Jake Colligan on fire here to start this game.
I'm not sure if he took that in the right area code. I know we're in 860, but that was looking down for more Western Connecticut.
Now Haney, he's going to bully ball Corey Muckle underneath the hoop, and he's going to get that one to go. So Derek Haney now working into the scoring column. There's going to be a foul on the floor as some subs looking to check into this game. But that's going to bring us to another media timeout. And Andrew, a fast start here for the Warriors.
You know, they got the jump on them early. It's 26-13 right now. A huge momentum boost. This is the type of win that the Warriors need at home to finish up the Lilies Conference season with a couple of games left. Not finishing it right now, of course, excuse me, but it's coming down to the wire, and they're going to need to win out. They're going to need some help from the conference, and this is the type of game that they need.
26-13 the score, 10:21 left in the first half. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll have more of the first half. Don't go anywhere.
And then I also believe, you know, her and her class, Jill was really helpful in recruiting the Jordan Nappies and the kids after that as well. So, you know, we don't have the decade that we did without, you know, Jill Rutrovsky or Jordan Nappy. And so she was a really big part of this last 10 years for us, for sure.
The decade was plagued with monumental games that stamped a mark on the history of each program. For the men's team, it was the LEC Championship game in 2017 that resonates with head coach Bill Geithner.
Great game. You know, to play conference championship on your home court and the support.
Welcome back up top, ladies and gentlemen. 26-13 the score after that media timeout. Some substitutions in. Sean Gashi checks in. He's going to try to make things happen early on, but he's going to throw that one out of bounds looking for Muckle. And also some substitutions back into the game for Southern Maine as Hawes re-enters for the Huskies. Freshman after getting a start here today. And then Matt Schernburn also is checked in.
You know, Jared, we've obviously mentioned throughout the season the absence of Carlos Gonzalez for this Warriors team, and it's caused some guys to have to step up and have that next man up mentality. And players like Thomas Close, the acting field general, and Sean Gashi to kind of step up off that bench and try to lead this team in some of these games. You know, they've really relied on each other, and you know, they've all taken roles as the leader and trying to boost each other. And I think you're really getting a lot of that out of them in this game right now.
I think this team's really coming together, and I give a lot of credit to head coach Bill Geithner. He's been doing an amazing job with a team that I think was expecting a lot more than they've gotten this year, but nonetheless, competing their hearts out as Thomas Close drives to the rim. Continuation, hoop plus the foul. He'll go to the line to try to convert the three-point play.
Jared, in the pregame, you asked me who do the Warriors have to get started in this game, and of course I mentioned the big three. You got to get those three started. How about Thomas Close? Get him the ball, get him some points. That was an incredible shot right there, and he draws the N1.
Close now with 5 points in this one. Hit that deep three earlier. Now make that 6.
As we just looked at that replay, Jarrett, he just threw it up there. And he was moving away from the basket, kind of just underhanded it right up into the basket. Not an easy shot to make.
Very quick first step for Thomas Close. Now it's going to be Sherburne. He's going to drive back over to LaFleur. He's going to look for Roberts in the post. Good cut there from Sherburne. Now it's going to be back out to Anderson. He's going to rise and fire. Nothing doing there. Ball tipping around. Back in the hands of LaFleur. And Southern Maine will reset. Now Now Roberts, he'll try to rise one more time over Thomas. That's not going to fall. Fighting for the rebound is Muckle. Beautiful save out of bounds. Now here come the Warriors in transition. Over to Gashi. Back to Thomas. And he's going to get fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
How about Corey Muckle doing a little toe tap near that sideline? He's able to rifle back over to Thomas Close, get it down towards that basket. Excellent play by Corey Muckle to keep the play alive.
Both feet looked into me from up here in the booth. I think the toe tap worked there for Muckle that time. It was definitely a catch. Good catch.
I wonder if he ever considered playing football.
Yeah, he might want to. XFL started today.
Well,
Big
he's
news
got the
out
height
there.
for it. He's got the speed.
Yeah. That'll be exciting to watch. I'm excited for the XFL. I think it'll be a very good league. Hopefully they can maintain what they weren't able to do when they started up several years ago. But nonetheless, a new try here for the XFL. But
Right.
back to Eastern Connecticut basketball.
Their second time around. I'm excited for that shootout in overtime. We'll have to see.
As Warriors have now extended the lead to 18. So a big fast start here for the Warriors. And what I was talking about, Andrew, is how I think they wanted to come out with some vengeance in this game, and it certainly looks like they're doing that here today.
You know, and especially after that tough road loss, if anybody watched that game against UMass Dartmouth, a questionable buzzer beater. So I think right now they've got a little fire under them. And they got some momentum coming to this game. It's showing right now, 31-13. And they've got to play like that. They got to play mean throughout the rest of this regular season to try to earn a playoff spot.
So Southern Maine's going to get 2. Now Warriors will reset. Colligan over to Gashi. Screen from Thomas, now back to Close. And ball's going to hit off the hands of Thomas going to the backcourt. That's going to be a backcourt violation.
This Warriors team's got to play with a little chip on their shoulder.
As that's going to take us to the under 8 media timeout. So 31-15 the score, 7:57 left here in the first half. When we come back, we'll have the rest of an exciting first half. Don't go anywhere.
We got, from the community was unbelievable. The students were out, packed house, crazy atmosphere, and a crazy game. We were fighting some injuries. We got down in that game, but another group that, was really, really resilient and, kind of refused to lose. We come back and, then, we make that, have the ball and then make that backdoor cut, and Carlos makes, an acrobatic layup. But then still knowing the game isn't over, especially with Ty Nichols, wearing the red there. He comes down and he doesn't get a great shot off, and then, it's kind of mayhem. But just a great game between.
Welcome back up top, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Soltis joined alongside by Andrew Meehan for this Little East Conference matchup on Little East Network. Fast start here for the Warriors, Andrew.
They got the jump on them early, and they're taking a pretty handsome lead, as I like to say.
Very handsome. Now it's going to be Haney. He's going to give a little push off to Gashi. He's going to rise for a 3. Falls to the ground, though. Rebound in the hands of Roberts. Now they'll reset. Now it's going to be Thomas. He'll try to hit a 3. Nothing doing there. Ball hit off the chest of Sean Gashi, so it's going to be Husky ball.
And it looks like Gashi's holding his hand right there. I don't know if he jammed his finger. Trying to shake it off a little bit, but he's really gripping that hand.
I always talk about Sean Gashi, how great he's been off the bench for Bill Geithner this year. Really good defensive presence.
Absolutely. You just took the words right out of my mouth. How about that defense that he's able to play? He's so versatile and quick. He's able to get his hands in there and mess around a little bit and create some disturbances.
Well, that time he got his hands in there a little bit too much because he commits the foul on Haney, and he'll go to the line to try to convert on the 3-point play.
That is what you do not want.
As we'll take another look at that one.
He's trying to send up the floater. He's able to draw the foul again, like you said. Sean Gashi getting his hands in there a little too much. That's going to send Henny to the line.
As Gashi goes to the bench now, and it looks like he's going to head over to the athletic trainer's table.
Like I said, he's really gripping that left hand. And it happened a play ago where he was trying to come down with the ball. He might have jammed it, if I'm going to guess.
So the lead, which was once at 18, now cut back down to 13 after a 5-0 run. Warriors going to try to answer back here. Fowler on the left wing. Colligan now with it. Going to get a screen from Thomas. Back up top to Muckle. He's going to work on Haney. 7 on the shot clock for Close. He'll drive. He'll feed to Fowler. And he'll kiss it off the square. Sharon Fowler. Beautiful play there from Close to find Fowler under the basket.
You know, Fowler made a great pass his last home game that we saw in the pregame against WestCon, and now he wants a little bit of a good pass to put on the highlight reel as well as he turns that into some points. What a pass by Close to find
Nice
Fowler
two-man
under the
game
basket.
at the end of the shot clock there for the Warriors. Now Fowler going to try to make a nice defensive play. Falls back into the hands of Southern Maine. Now here's Haney. He'll try to drive. Nice rebound amongst a lot of blue jerseys there for Fowler, and he rips it away. Good hustle there from Sharon Fowler.
85 defensive rebounds. There it is right there. He's got to win the rebound game for the Warriors on defense, and he's doing it so far.
Thomas will push Colligan out of the way to find Thomas in the post. Now ball's going to bounce into the backcourt, into the hands of Muckle. And Close will reset. There's Thomas now. He'll rise from 3. Back rim. Offensive rebound for Muckle. He'll step out behind the 3. Front rims that one. Back into the hands of Southern Maine.
You know, he's not able to come up with a 3 right there, but 2 in a row in a matter of a couple of seconds from his own rebound. I like the effort from Muckle.
Now a fight for it. Stolen away by Close. Here come the Warriors in transition. Nice look away pass from Close to Thomas for a kiss off the square. Lead back to 17.
We've seen that twice now. Those no-look passes from Thomas Close, and this time he finds Seth Thomas. He's able to just tap it off the glass and get her in there.
Now here's Thomas. He'll go one-on-one with Colligan. He'll try to rise up and hit it. Jacoby Thomas from downtown. He's trying to keep Southern Maine in it. Lead back to 14 for Eastern Connecticut. As bad pass there from Close. Now here comes Hawes in transition. He's going to get over to Thomas. Head of steam here for Thomas. He's going to flick it up off the square.
How about Jacoby Thomas? Able to find some room around the big man, Sharon Fowler.
Nice acrobatic finish at the rim there as Thomas goes on a little 5-0 run by himself. Now they'll give the look to Fowler again in the left wing. Gonna get an isolation with Fowler. A nice slashing cut there from Thomas Close. And an even better pass there from Fowler. So Close will go to the line for a chance to convert 2.
So it looks like Fowler's trying to repay the pass that he got from Close earlier. Unable just to finish right there, but it does send Close to the line, so a chance to get 2 here.
And we talk about that last game up at Southern Maine, but it's been a different story on the road for Southern Maine this year. Only 2-7 record on the road. And their last win in this gymnasium came all the way back in 2008. So it's been a while since the Huskies have come into the Francis E. Geisler Gymnasium and been able to get it done.
I'll tell you what, Jerry, you got to give credit to them right now. They've been able to cut down this lead a little bit. Now it's 36-23. The Warriors can't let them back in this one. They got to keep their foot on the gas. But give credit to the Huskies. They're trying to hang into this one, so this one's not over yet, given the lead that the Warriors have had for a majority of this first half so far.
Now here's Roberts. He's going to drive but get double teamed by Fowler and Thomas. Now back out to Haney. He's going to drive right. Going to try to flick it up off the square. Not going to work though. Here comes Thomas in transition. A nice look away pass again to Colligan. Colligan got to rise from 7 and hit. Jake Colligan. 12 points now for number 2 in white.
I believe he had Henny right on his tail, and how about Colligan? He's able to just pivot around 360 and float it back right up to the rim. Jake Colligan, he has such an awareness around the hoop to know who's around him on defense.
They'll rise. Long rebound out to Fowler. And they're going to get Roberts for the reach. And it'll be one more foul before the Warriors will be shooting in the penalty. That's going to bring us to the under 4 timeout, however. 39-23 the score. 3:42 left in the first half. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Really, 2 good teams, competitive teams that had a lot of really, really talented players. So we were fortunate to win that game, but it was definitely a memorable game.
For Coach Beerley, the last decade has seen a few Dandies each season, including an overtime win against UMass Dartmouth on their floor in the Little East Conference Championship game just a season ago. However, the one that Coach Beerley talks about is the overtime championship game, which saw the Warriors come out on top once again, but this time in Willimantic.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. 39-23 the score, 3:42 left in the first half. And now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Tyler Matt, on the sideline. Tyler, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. Right out of this under 4 timeout, Eastern's got a 16-point lead here. They're sharing the ball, looking to push in transition, too. Don't let Southern Maine get set up on defense. Watch the matchup, though, both on offense and defense. Jake Colligan and Jacoby Thomas. Colligan fourth in Little East Conference in scoring coming into this game, and Thomas second in the conference. So watch that matchup. Let's send it back up to Andrew and Jared.
Thank you, Tyler. It's been a fast start here for the Warriors. Able to jump out into a 16-point lead. Now entering the closing stages of this first half. And they will have the ball. Here's a screen from Sharon Fowler for Muckle, and Muckle's going to hit. He gets in on the fun. Three-pointer for Corey Muckle. Lead back up to 19.
Tell you what, he likes those three-pointers. Go back to that home game against UMass Dartmouth. 6 in a row in the second half for Corey Muckle. The Huskies cannot let him get open at that three-point line if they want to keep this lead within their range.
Now here's a screen for Haney. He's going to drive, loses it initially, regains control. Now he'll find Hendricks into Nagel. He's going to try to work on Fowler. Try to get it up on the rim. Nothing doing there. Another rebound for Muckle. Now they're going to find Close. They forgot about him on the left wing, and he'll splash a three. Thomas Close, his second three of the half. Lead up to 22.
What a beautiful shot for Thomas Close. That's what I like from the Warriors right now. We've been saying this throughout the season so far is who are they going to get involved in this offense other than the big three? And Thomas Close is coming up in this game. He's shooting a couple of three-pointers right now, and I love it. That was a beautiful shot. Nice spin on the ball. Doesn't even hit the rim.
It's Close now, the leading scorer for the Warriors with 13. So a big game so far for Thomas Close in this first half. On pace to have a big night. He's right ahead of Colligan, who has 12.
Close averages 7 points per game so far throughout this season. He's beating that right now with 8.
And Close, he'll set up. He'll try to find Muckle. And another three for Eastern Connecticut. It's raining threes here in the Francis Lee Geisler Gymnasium.
How about Corey Muckle getting started? It's irresponsible to leave him alone at the three-point line. Huskies got to find a way to put a stop to that, but all the Warriors fans, they love it in here and they want more of it.
And a big crowd here today, of course. As another big three, Eastern Connecticut now 6 of 11 from downtown. A lot like we saw in the women's game, Andrew. They were having quite their own success shooting from three. Now the men's team doing the same thing.
Absolutely an exciting game in that women's game right before this one. I think we're starting to see a little bit of a shooting competition between players like Corey Muckle and Thomas Close out there. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out with the most checks that we have to write out.
I've ran a lot of them today.
That's going to be interesting. Who cashes out bigger? We'll have to wait till the end of this one.
Now these guys are going to run me broke by the end of this year.
How many checkbooks you gone through?
Quite a
You
few.
must have multiple bank accounts.
Yeah, no, I do.
You're getting your money's worth, I'll tell you that.
I definitely am. I don't mind writing them, though. So here's Fowler. Nice little shifty spin move.
Oh, come on.
He was trying to put the moves on Southern Maine. Now he's going to try to come back in transition and get a block on Thomas, but that's not going to work. Nice finish there from Thomas. As Fowler on that last possession, though, some shifty spin moves trying to get around DJ Anderson. Wasn't able to do so, but definitely a crafty little try there at the rim.
I'll still give Sharon Fowler an A on that one. I think that rim was just not being fair.
As Gashi trying to drive baseline, had it poked away from behind by Thomas. Now here comes Anderson in transition. Try to flick it up with the left hand. Good defense from Fowler. Looking up ahead for Muckle, and he's going to try to finish at the rim. Hangs up there and rolls out.
Just a little too much on the glass. I don't think it was close enough to that box right there. 2 in a row so far that we've seen for the Warriors. Just getting unlucky at the basket. Once from Fowler and now Muckle.
Shooting numbers down a little bit for Corey Muckle this year, only shooting it at 34% from the field. After having a stellar year last year and being second in the team in scoring at 16.4 a game a season ago. Numbers dropped a little bit, down to 14 a game this year. But nonetheless, another great season for Corey Muckle.
Hey, still one of the top, in the top 3 on the team. Second leading scorer with 13 points per game. But again, now you're practically playing with a new squad this year, and you don't really have your field general and Carlos Gonzalez out there, but these guys are still producing numbers, maybe the ones that they weren't producing last year, but good enough to keep those games close, and it's going to show right now. Look at the lead that they have.
Now under a minute remaining in this first half, 22-point lead. Close trying to get into Fowler, went right through his hands out of bounds, back in favor of the Huskies. There's now a nice crossover from Thomas. He's going to try to rise from 15. That's not going to fall. Nice rebound from Gashi over here in the corner. With Sherburne trying to bring the trap. Nothing working there. Now Gashi, he's going to drive the rim. Get it to Fowler. Up fake from Fowler. But a nice block inside by LaFleur. And Fowler's got to be careful. Getting it with LaFleur there underneath.
And he's loving it too. You see the smile and the grin on his face. He loves the aggressiveness. That's his game, the rebounds. And he loves to see it. These Little East Conference matchups, when it comes down to the wire and the season's coming to a close and playoffs are right around the corner, these matchups start to get chippy.
Now shot clock is turned off. So Southern Maine will hold for 1. And almost a steal going the other way for Gashi as he jumped in front of the passing lane. Thomas trying to get down over to Haney. Now Southern Maine will have 12.7 seconds.
And just look at the speed that Sean Gashi has, especially on that last drive. If Fowler finishes, that drive is all Sean Gashi, if you ask me. Right from the rebound and practically take it down the court to himself and a couple of good passes. And then right there, he's able to almost take the ball away before it goes out of bounds in the last couple of seconds.
That's going to be a foul on Colligan, and that's going to send Thomas to the line for the bonus. And of course, at halftime, we're going to have an honor of Dr. Dan Swinchenko. Of course, former coach here at Eastern, stepped down in 1994, but really put this program on the map for several reasons, and they're going to try to say that basket for Thomas counts. And Coach Bill Geithner can't believe what he's seeing. He's out on the court. Officials are going to try to get together and sort this one out. A very weird situation that just happened there. Looked like Thomas might have shot the ball, and because it was a one-on-one, he went and grabbed it and finished it at the rim. Officials are going to try to sort this one out.
Coach not particularly happy with that call. He's definitely going to argue it. He's going to be able to see what the officials come up with here. If we look at that replay, just off that foul shot, Thomas just puts it right back up into the basket for 2, and I don't know what the officials are going to come up with after this discussion.
As I don't think they will end up counting the bucket. I saw one of the officials show Carl Hendrickson the decline sign, so I don't think it will count. As 2.8 seconds, now 2.5 seconds are showed on the clock. As trying to get some things sorted out over there on the far sideline. Still some conversation going on there. Officials going to give head coach Bill Geithner an explanation. And looks like the hoop is actually going to count. So a very weird situation there. 2.5 to play though. Warriors are going to get the last shot. As Gashi rises from 3. Don't think it would have counted anyway, but comes up short. So a very exhilarating first half for Eastern Connecticut, and in a bit of a weird way, but a 20-point lead nonetheless, 48-28. And Andrew, it was a fast start. They came out of the gates hot, and they just kept pursuing it. and that's why their lead's at 20 points.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have not seen the Warriors really do that a lot this season so far. A lot of the games, you know, again, we talk about how much they come up short in the last one by no more than 3 points. In the first couple of minutes, in the first 1 or 2 minutes for the Warriors offense, they're kind of off to a slow start. It takes them a while to get into their rhythm, to find some opportunities, see who's going to start to score some points and get that offense into a rhythm. But a completely different story today, and they have not taken their foot off the gas, and I love what I'm seeing, and I bet head coach Bill Geithner is too, and he wants more of it in the second half.
Warriors coming out with some vengeance. As 48-28 the score is, 20-point lead for the Warriors at the break, as we're going to go to commercial for a little while. But when we come back, the Warriors are going to try to put Southern Maine away in an exciting second half. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I just think that was a, you know, like a culmination of what had happened. Christina, Taylor, and Shannon were freshmen when we won 8 games, and it was kind of came full circle. Then their senior year, you know, we won the regular season, and then we hosted the conference tournament, and then we beat Boston in overtime. And I mean, it was a great game. I think, you know, I think if I remember correctly, you know, Boston was like a 5th seed. I don't think they were expected to be in the final. I think I was worried about, well, it wasn't, you know, I think Dartmouth was the number 2 seed, and sometimes you worry, oh, the kids think, oh, they got this, you know, they weren't supposed to be here. And they gave us everything we could handle, and I just remember, you know, I think they, you know, went to a zone, and you know, we struggled a little bit, but then, you know, Jordan ended up hitting some shots, and I think some other kids did as well, and it was just a great win, and we were just so happy because and the kids were so happy, and it was really.
5 postseason tournaments, including the first 2 NCAA tournaments, and the only team to advance to the Elite 8 of the NCAA tournament. The assistant coaches from that era were Anthony Calavecchio, unable to be with us, Bernie Mulligan, and current assistant coach Bill Strand. Ladies and gentlemen, with us today
that doesn't always happen in sports where, you're on a team your freshman year, you win 8 games, and then 4 years later you win the championship. But it was just really rewarding for, I think, the coaches and also the players to have it come back full circle, where we think it should be. So.
It was a decade of many ups and a few downs for the two programs. With the turnover of a new decade, both coaches are looking forward to what's in store.
I think just the opportunity to work with, high-quality student athletes, to watch them, grow and mature like the previous decade, those student athletes, and, hopefully along the way that we compete and do it the right way. And I think if we do that, we'll have another successful decade. But it's really about the moment with the kids and the staff, just watching guys grow and mature on and off the court. Those I think that are the things that, as a coach, I take away more than maybe a particular game here or there. But I think if we get the great kids that we've had that work hard, that buy into what we're saying and how we want to play, that we'll ultimately have another great decade.
I mean, obviously just continued success. I think that, to continue to recruit players that have been together, bought in, want to win, want to focus on program goals. I think that's the key, is you got to get the right fit of players and just keep trying to, win games and win Little East championships and go to the NCAA tournament. I think, we have a lot of goals to make the NCAA tournament, advance in it, do things of that nature. And I think we're perfectly capable to do that. But I think it takes, it's the players. I mean, they have to come here, work hard, buy in, and really, have those goals in their mind all the time. So, we're really looking forward, to the rest of this year and then obviously the years coming up.
Warrior basketball has proven to be one of the most exciting showcases that Eastern has to offer. Between a series of championships, awards, and first-class players that have come through the two programs, Eastern fans have always been in for a treat every time the two teams hit the floor. With the turn of a new decade, who knows what is in store for the men's and women's basketball teams? However, one thing is guaranteed, and that is it's certain to be breathtaking.
The Little East Conference is back in romantic. Eastern Connecticut, the 2018 Little East Conference champions. Over! Eastern Connecticut will dance to the champions of the 2015 Little East Conference. The man of the hour has arisen.
On Monday, January 20th, members of the men's basketball team came together in partnership with Team Impact for a special signing day ceremony for 13-year-old Andrew Shepard.
Andrew's a 13-year-old boy. He is in the 7th grade now. He's has a medical condition, chronic medical condition, so that's how we ended up here. But he's a good boy, active boy, and just trying to live his teenage years.
Andrew suffers from sickle cell anemia, a condition that affects his blood cells.
It causes pain, it could cause blood infections. He can get something called acute chest syndrome. It's kind of like pneumonia, but he can be admitted to the hospital for it.
Ever since Andrew was young, he has enjoyed and had a passion for the game of basketball.
He's been playing basketball since he was little, learning how to dribble the ball, and he knows so much about basketball that I don't know about.
The team was introduced to Andrew through Team Impact, a national nonprofit that connects children facing serious or chronic illnesses with college athletic teams.
They reached out to us via email and asked if we would be interested because they had someone in the area, and it was a great idea. I felt it was an awesome idea. Spoke with a bunch of the guys on the team, and they were all in.
Since 2011, Team Impact has matched more than 2,000 children with over 700 colleges and universities in 48 states.
He's been up a couple times. He was here for media night, and he really enjoyed that, and the guys loved spending time with him, and then he was able to catch a game one Saturday, first semester.
In his time as a member of the team, Andrew has already been to practices, games, and even was a part of the team's Media Day photo shoot at the beginning of the season.
I hope he gets another source of family vibes, just another group of people he could just go to whenever he needs someone to talk to. He could just text any of us. We'll give him a call whenever. Just have someone there for him.
The team has Andrew in a group chat where they talk with him daily. And in the coming months, they are planning events and things to do with their newest teammate.
Most sports are about is bringing people together, from different backgrounds, different experiences, and, just allowing our guys to see a different aspect of things, which I think will educate them and help them grow as people as they move on from Eastern.
Basketball teaching lessons on and off the court.
It's a genuine, kindness and care for him, and I appreciate it.
We are all very, very excited to have you as part of our family. Welcome.
Andrew, now officially a Warrior. In Willimantic, Tyler Madden, ETV News.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. 48-28 the score at halftime. And now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Tyler Madden, for word on a very heartwarming story. Tyler, what do you got for us?
Thanks, guys. You got to see that great event a few weeks ago, that great ceremony, Team Impact Signing Day ceremony the men's basketball team did for 13-year-old Andrew Shepard from East Hartford. It wasn't the first time Eastern Athletics has taken part in a Team Impact Signing Day ceremony, as West Terracone was signed to become a member of the women's soccer team back in October. Now back to this game, it's been hot three-point shooting for Eastern. They're 6 for 11. Southern Maine been struggling from behind the arc, 2 for 14. Eastern's also been sharing the ball so far. They got 10 assists in the first half coming into this game, only averaging 14 assists per game for the entire game. Already have 10 so far, so keep looking to share the ball. Let's send it back up to Andrew and Jared.
Thank you, Tyler. And a very heartwarming story, Andrew, that Team Impact was. And it's very nice to see both women's soccer and men's basketball getting involved in a very good cause.
It's such a heartwarming thing that they do, these student athletes. And that's, what really, being a student athlete is all about, not only playing in Division III athletics and getting that opportunity, but giving back to the community around you, and really all around around Connecticut. And just, again, such a heartwarming thing that these teams here at Eastern have done for those kids, to give them a chance to be a part of something big and make them feel like, part of the team. It's really heartwarming, and it's truly special to see that those student athletes are just giving back to the community in that way with Team Impact.
They've been doing a great job with it. Got a chance to attend that ceremony last week for Andrew Shepard. It was a very special moment there. And now we're going to roll through some first half stats. Of course, the score 48-28 in favor of Eastern. Eastern shooting 62% from the field, 18 of 29. While Southern Maine struggling, only shooting 29% on 11 of 37. And the story for Eastern, Andrew, in that first half was the three ball, shooting 6 of 11 from downtown, while Southern Maine is struggling mightily, only at 2 of 14.
Absolutely. I mean, if you ask me, Southern Maine's going to find some rhythm right now on their offense. If they've got to find an answer on defense against the Warriors, they're looking unstoppable, not only from the three, but from the field as well. Jay Colligan's doing his usual thing, sending those floaters up there, and he's also passing the ball around to players like Fowler. Thomas Close is getting a chance at the three, putting some on the board. So really, it's not really one thing that the Huskies are going to have to focus in on. It's really everything that they're going to have to stop, and I think that's going to come down to them just disrupting the passes, getting their hands around, flying around, keeping their head on a swivel, disrupt those passes, and really make the Warriors feel uncomfortable out on that floor. But again, it's not just one thing or one area that they got to focus on. It's both the three and the field that the Warriors are shooting excellent from.
I think you said it best, Andrew, when you said that there's not really one thing Southern Maine can focus in on, because the scoring distribution has really been very evenly distributed for the Warriors. 13 points for Thomas Close, 12 for Colligan, 9 for McCarthy, 6 for Muckle. So everyone getting involved in the action. And speaking of Jake Colligan, there he is. He'll rise for a three, and he's not able to hit. So ball's going to go out of bounds. Now back in favor of the Huskies and into the hands of the two-time player of the week, Jacoby Thomas. Now over to Anderson. Now Thomas in the post. McCarthy will bring a double. They'll elect to go out to Wood. Now Haney, he'll rise from three and hit. So Derek Haney trying to get Southern Maine back on track from downtown as they slowly try to chip away at this lead to start the second.
Oh, he's shooting 35% so far overall in the season at that three-point line. Something the Warriors are going to have to pay attention to and not let the Huskies get back in this one.
Now looking for Muckle. He's going to drive left, try to kiss it off the square with the left hand, in and out. Finds the hands of Thomas now, as he was trying to get past Jake Colligan. And looks like it's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to go back into the hands of Thomas underneath for Southern Maine.
So it's Jake McCarthy back in the lineup again at the start of the second half. We haven't seen him since really earlier on in that first half, but he's doing some incredible stuff.
What a move by head coach Bill Geithner after seeing McCarthy, some good confidence, a little bit of pep in his step as Muckle goes for the block, and now he's holding his face underneath on the other side. It's going to be an official timeout. It appears that Muckle got whacked across the face when he was coming across the paint to try to get that block.
So we saw him swing up his hands, and by the looks of it, you know, you got to pay attention to see if that's his eye, because he looks like he's kind of squinting right now.
As he looks like he's a little wobbly getting to his feet now, as Seth Thomas is going to help him off the court. So hopefully he'll be okay, as we'll take another look at that one.
So looking back at this on the replay, Muckle down under the basket as he's going to try to make a defensive play here, driving towards the basket, and it looks like Thomas's arm might have caught Muckle's head going towards the basket. As again, Muckle was also swinging his hands up around in front of Thomas to kind of knock that ball away. So it looks like the arm of Thomas might have caught Muckle's head or his eye. We're not going to see. He's at the table right now getting checked out.
The thing you got to hope for is no concussion, as Colligan rises from three in and out, as he goes over to the athletic trainer's table there on the far side. As he looked awfully wobbly getting to his feet. Seth Thomas had to help him off the court. So hopefully nothing too serious for Corey Muckle.
I don't know. I have a feeling that it might be his eye.
It looks like it might have been his eye.
And that's, that's pretty scary. We see that a lot in the NBA, players getting poked in the eye. And we haven't seen that too much so far for the Warriors, but looked like he was squinting a lot and really couldn't see as he was walking.
And a nice drive and a dish off to Jake McCarthy. Nice creation there from Colligan to McCarthy. McCarthy now works his way into double figures with 11.
Nice little reward for Jake McCarthy and the effort that he put in that road loss against UMass Dartmouth with 18 points, and Geithner rewarding him, putting him out on the floor in the starting lineup. And Jake McCarthy has not let Coach Geithner down so far.
As now they're going to look for him in the post, as he's going to try to finish at the rim. Good defense there from Wood. McCarthy's going to get the ball back. Battling underneath was Roberts and Wood, but it's going to be blocked away by Wood into the hands of Thomas. Now here he comes in transition over to Haney on the left wing. We'll reset with Roberts. Nice cut there from Thomas, and then he'll finish at the rim.
How about the speed from Thomas? You know, he had Colligan right on top of him, but nice cut to get under that basket, and he puts it up under two, or excuse me, for two on the board.
Nice up and under move there from Thomas, as he is the leading scorer for Southern Maine with 16. Now here's Gashi. He's going to try a three and connect. 2-2 in white, getting a three to fall. Lead up to 20.
Warriors doing everything they can to stay ahead so far.
Now into the post to Thomas. He's going to square up on Colligan. Skip pass, back over to Haney. Now Anderson, he's going to work on close. He'll pull from 15, front rim. Nice rebound from Colligan.
Better
Poked away now by Roberts, and he's going to take it all the way to the rim. Colligan didn't know he was behind him, and Roberts was able to come up with it and get two.
You know, I don't think that, you know, that's not really on Colligan. Just a good heads-up play by Roberts for the Huskies to kind of poke that ball away.
There's Thomas. He's going to try to dribble drive on Roberts. Nothing doing there. Out to Colligan for three, and you can write him another check. Jake Colligan feeling it from downtown. He's now got 3 threes on the night to go along with 15 points.
That's how you got to get him back, you know. Roberts is able to poke the ball away from him as soon as Colligan gets it, you know, going into the transition. Colligan responds with a three. That's a perfect response.
Now Anderson, he'll give a ball fake to close. He'll drive to the rim. And I think it's going to be a foul on McCarthy as Anderson was driving. And now that is going to bring us to our under 16 media timeout. So 56-35 the score, 15-14 left here in this second half. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
To those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
The best thing about ETV News is probably the overall togetherness of the staff. Everyone plays a big role in the pre- and post-production aspect of it.
The global stories that we bring here, we produce here, we work on, we research, we explore.
The hands-on exposure you get, because ETV News is all student-produced.
My mindset going into one-on-one is really just focusing in on the topic at hand, at whoever I'm interviewing, because there's so many different aspects.
I like being able to put personality behind stuff.
Being a sports anchor, I'm able to call a highlight and maybe provide a little bit more excitement.
If you're thinking about coming to Eastern and majoring in communications, the best thing to do is reach out and get involved.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. 56-35 the score, 15-14 left in the second half. Jared Soltis joined alongside by Andrew Meehan. And ladies and gentlemen, remember to follow us all over social media. You can like our Facebook page at ECSU Athletics. Also follow us on Instagram at ECSU Athletics and our Twitter page. And of course, we are always powered by Stretch Internet.
And of course, you got to go check out the YouTube channel. How about our own Jared Soltis putting out an excellent documentary, a decade in review of both the men's and women's basketball team, all the way back to 2009. What an incredible program it's been in the last 10 years. And I think you put together such a great program. If you have not watched it yet, go and watch it. Go and watch it again. Watch it 5 times. It's certainly worth the watch. You don't see a whole lot of students putting out ESPN quality documentaries like that.
I appreciate that, Andrew. It was an awful lot of fun to work on that project. It was our very own Kyle Smith and Ryan Gable alongside me on that one. It was very fun to get to talk to head coach Denise Beerley, the women's team, and Coach Geithner of the men's team as Roberts pulls from 3. As we don't really realize it, Andrew, and Thomas finishes at the rim. We really don't realize it, Andrew, how successful these two programs have been over the last decade. I mean, you look at the men's team, of course, winning 7 of the last 8 Little East Conference regular season championships. I mean, the women's team, a Little East Conference championship last year, and it's just been phenomenal what those two programs have been able to put together over the last 10 years.
It's truly historic what head coach Bill Geithner and head coach Denise Beerley have been able to do for both these programs, and, you know, especially the part for the women's team where, you know, it all came around full circle in that 4th year for a lot of those seniors who were starting out as freshmen and won, 8 games in that season, and it comes full circle. It's just an amazing story to see how far these programs have come, and really what they've gone through is not every season has been an easy one.
Definitely a few struggling times. As now Haney, he's going to try to drive. That's blocked from behind. Nice defensive play there by Sean Gashi. But utmost gratitude for head coach Bill Gaynor and Denise Beerley taking the time out of their busy schedule in the heart of the basketball season to do that project with us. We greatly appreciate that. Wouldn't have been as good of a project if it wasn't for them agreeing to do those interviews, and they gave great answers. And Coach Beerley actually giving some advice on some things we should include. So,
right, it's really incredible what you, Ryan, and Kyle have all put out.
So now Hendricks is going to check back in, and Haney will go to the bench for Southern Maine. Eastern trying to stretch this lead out even more as LaFleur able to hit the second free throw. Now a little bit of half-court man trap maybe here for Southern Maine, extending that defense out a little bit, down 22 points with just under 14 to play. Now Close, gets it to Colligan. He's going to try to drive. Ball's poked away into the hands of Roberts now. Coming from behind is Thomas. He's able to poke it away from Roberts. Nice hustle play there from Thomas in transition. Probably stops a basket for Southern Maine.
That's what you like to see. I mean, the Warriors got a 22 lead on the Huskies right now, but Seth Thomas putting the Jets on and knocking that ball away from behind. Even when you're up by 22, you're still trying to make plays like this is a one-point game. That's the attitude that the Warriors have got to have throughout the rest of this season.
And some battling down inside by Colligan and Thomas. Roberts is going to drive. He'll skip it over to LaFleur. That's not going to fall. Now Warriors have numbers the other way. Here's Thomas now. Dribbles right at Hendricks, but it's going to be a foul underneath. That was on Kailani LaFleur. It's his second and team second. Now Colligan to inbound underneath with 13-12 to play. That's going to be stolen away by Roberts now. Thomas in transition. Had Hendricks, but he's going to elect to take it to the rim and finish. Jacoby Thomas through the traffic. He's going to go to the line for a chance to convert the three-point play. Thomas now with 20 on the night.
Sean Gashi just sticking out that arm. He was able to hit the ball only at the first part, but his hand catching Thomas's face a little bit. That's going to draw the foul. So good defensive effort by Gashi, but just unable to avoid that foul.
As Thomas, second leading scorer in the conference, trying to keep Southern Maine in this one. Now a screen from Fowler, and Colligan's going to rise up. As Roberts thought he got all ball, official says otherwise. Colligan going to go to the line to shoot two.
As we throw it back a couple of games ago, it was right there at that free throw line where Jay Colligan got his 1,000th career point in his Eastern career. Just truly incredible, but do you think he was going to get it on a free throw? Do you think he was expecting that?
I don't think he was expecting that. And I kind of, in some ways, Andrew, I wish he didn't get it on a free throw. Sometimes I'd like to see it happen in action live rather than how it did. I mean, if we go back to last year, Carlos Gonzalez got his 1,000th point and an exciting floater down the lane. I mean, stuff like that was amazing, and Gonzalez actually finished with a career-high 35 in that game, so it was just a thrilling one for sure. And Corey Muckle, he's also very close to 1,000. That'll be coming up soon. But now the Warriors coming in transition.
Nonetheless, Colligan able to get to that 1,000 points in 3 years here at Eastern. Of course, he transferred after his freshman year at Keene State, won a little bit of the championship life here with the Warriors. And it goes to show just an incredible career for the senior.
As he was just at the free throw line, and he will go back for a chance to get points 21 and 22 on the night. And this is the first. Haney will check back in for Anderson.
It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this one plays out. You know, 12 A little over 12 minutes left on the clock. Excuse me, a little under 13 minutes left on the clock in regulation. And a hefty lead for the Warriors. And quite a bit of work for the Huskies to have to put in.
So now here's Haney. Over to Wood. On the dribble, handoff to Thomas. He's going to try to drive left. He's going to find LaFleur in the corner. Here's Wood. He's going to work on Thomas. Little baby hook in the lane. He'll get it to go. Cameron Wood able to get a nice little baby hook to go. As now he's got 4.
Making it look easy. How about that pass from Gashi?
And front rim there for Colligan. Now pass a little far ahead of Thomas. He's able to regain control. Kiss it off the square and 1. Foul is going to be on Sean Gashi. So a nice little spurt of energy here for Southern Maine as now we see Corey Muckle sprint back to the scorer's table. He's going to check back in.
That's 3 times in the past couple of minutes that we've seen Gashi try to make a defensive play on those breakaways against the Huskies. But he's just, causing the foul. He's just been just unlucky so far.
As Gashi went up a little bit too horizontally there. Got into the body of Thomas, and a nice concentration and acrobatic finish at the rim as he converts a 3-point play. This is as close as the game has been in quite some time. Leads to 17 now, as we've just gone under 12 minutes to play. And Corey Muckle checks back in after getting hit in the eye earlier.
Good to see that Muckle's checked out okay.
Cross screen. Thomas going to try to finish. Over Haney. Able to regain control now. Fighting for it in the corner. And it's going to be a foul. I believe that one's going to go on Thomas, and it will. And that's going to be Thomas's first foul and the team's 5th. And that is going to take us to our under 12 media timeout. Southern Maine trying to climb back into this one. Got the lead down to 17 now. 65-48 the score. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Now is certainly definitely the time to come in here.
Well, although it is a lot of work, it's going to be worth it in the long run.
I learned a lot of valuable lessons playing college football. I never thought about the health benefits of exercise until I actually started to talk to coaches in college. It's not only just for performance, it's for life. My coaches instilled the importance of well-being, not only building up strength, mental health, getting enough sleep, eating properly is all what it is to be healthy. I decided that I want to go on a personal trainer and share my knowledge that I obtained in college about physical and mental well-being.
I just wanted to get good grades and...
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. 65-48 the score, 11:38 left in the second half. Eastern with the ball underneath. As the double screen from McCarthy and Thomas comes. Now Muckle, he'll pull up. Not able to get that one to go. Here comes Hendricks in transition. Now Haney has it. Dribble handoff with Wood and Hendricks. Now set up for Thomas. He'll pull up from 15. That one's not going to go. Another rebound into the hands of Seth Thomas. He has 13 of those on the night.
Nice rebound. He's leading the team with 129. Tack on those 13 after this one. He's able to get some height on his opponent and come up with the ball.
Double-double alert for Seth Thomas here today. As now he's going to try to elevate and swat that one away from Thomas. Wasn't able to get it, but Thomas misses ultimately.
Oh, he loves those plays. He loves coming from behind and slapping it away. And he also likes putting them up for 2.
Another look-away pass there from Jake Colligan. As now Colligan has got 21 points and 8 assists on the night. So another double-double watch as well for Colligan.
We talk about how good of a shooter he is. We said this earlier. Those passes, it's turning into points for the Warriors, and that's what I said in the pregame. They got to find those openings and those opportunities.
As Colligan trying to sky up for the rebound, it fell into the hands of Thomas ultimately. Now Eastern going to slow things down here with a 19-point lead. Now right wing to close. They'll set up Colligan off the down screen and hit. Number 2 in white, he's feeling it. 24 of the night, 5 of 8 from downtown for Jake Colligan. The senior getting it done here today.
He's going to cash out big. Write him a check.
I've written way too many today.
Hope about another checkbook. We're out of control up here.
As LaFleur now, he's going to pull.
Just a little too short on that one.
My mother's going to be mad at me for all the money I'm spending on Eastern Connecticut State men's basketball.
It's unbelievable, Jarrett.
I'm blowing it. I'm blowing it all. It's all right. I enjoy doing it.
It's going towards a good cause.
Yeah.
The 3-point checks of the Warriors.
GoFundMe page for Eastern Connecticut.
Exactly.
As now Colligan and LaFleur are getting into it a little bit. Official will come to separate them. As Coach Gator's holding his hands up in disgust with his player. Colligan is saying doesn't want to get a technical foul there.
That's something they've got to avoid is the technicals. But again, we've said it again, and when the season's coming down to the end, it's coming down to the wire. These games are going to get chippy. Especially, they still got Keene State to play at home.
Especially with the frustration of Southern Maine boiling over a little bit. They're going to start to get chippy in the late stages here. Now Muckle, he'll try to drive. Floater short, gets his own miss, puts it back up and in. Nice persistent effort there for Corey Muckle. His own miss falls back into his hands. He puts up a floater as Muckle now has 8 on the night.
He got a little shove after that one as well. He's able to put it back up.
Now Haney, he's going to hide behind the screen from Wood and he'll hit. So Derek Haney having a pretty good night, 13 points, his second 3. Now dribble handoff with Muckle. He'll try to drive into the paint. Put up a little shot from 15, air ball, but I think there was a deflection.
I don't know. I think Muckle's trying to argue that he might have got some contact on that one. But the officials are not going to give him the call. And the Warriors, they've got to be careful right now. Try not to argue too many calls. 8 minutes left. A lot of work for the Huskies to put in. But try to simmer down a little bit. Don't cause to get any technicals or anything. You don't want to give them this game. Just calm down and try to stay ahead of them. You got a hefty lead right now.
It'll be important for the Warriors to definitely play smart here in the late stages. Muckle, he's going to try to back down Haney. Thought he got hit. Now Haney will come back in transition.
As my father once told me, beat him on the next play. That's the mentality that they should have. And try not to argue so many calls. That's what Muckle's going to try to do. He's
going to fly out. Nice deflection there by McCarthy. Warriors in transition now. Close looking for Muckle. Nice save there by Muckle. Now Colligan's going to elect to reset smartly here with just under 8 to play.
Right, I think that's a good idea, kind of rushing that one. How about Muckle over in that corner? We've seen him doing it twice against so far tonight, keeping that ball in play and get it to Colligan. But a smart choice to kind of reset.
There's Thomas. He's going to rise. He'll try to fire. And that's not going to work.
Almost a nice takeaway.
Now Roberts going to try. He's going to get it over to Sherburne. Back out to Haney. He'll try a 3. No good. Rebound Roberts in the paint. That one's no good either. Into the hands of McCarthy as he's got another rebound. Now make that 6 on the night for Jake McCarthy.
Roberts, another guy you got to pay attention. He's 4th in the Little East Conference rebounds per game, and that just goes to show right there. He got a good one. Try to get it back to his team for an opportunity to score some points.
Now Colligan, he'll try to work in the lane. That one's not going to fall. Now some lazy transition defense here for Eastern Connecticut. And officials going to get a walk on the baseline from Jair Roberts. And that will take us to the under 8 media timeout. So an exciting game here. 21-point lead for Eastern Connecticut. 72-51 the score. 7 minutes on the dot left in this second half. When we come back, Tyler Madden will be reporting on the sideline. Don't go anywhere.
to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am, their lives.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. 7 minutes left, 72-51 the score. As now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Tyler Matt, on the sideline. Tyler, what do you got for us?
Thanks, Garrett. Coming out of that under 8 timeout, Easton's got a 21-point lead on Southern Maine. They're continuing what they started in that first half. Team assists, 17 total assists, 8 for Jake Colligan. They also have 3 players in double figures, so getting everybody involved. Let's send it back up to Andrew and Jared.
Thank you, Tyler. As Warriors going to try to put Southern Maine away here in the final 7 minutes of play. Close works the ball over half court at the Shield. We're looking for the backdoor cut. Couldn't find it. Now Colligan, he's going to dance with Hendricks. Close trying to drive left, out to Muckle. He'll pull a 3 in, get it, Corey Muckle. Nice three-pointer over there on that left wing.
He might have got hit in the eye earlier, but he's looking pretty pristine right now from that three-point line. I'd like to see another one in the next 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
As now they're going to get Muckle for a foul on Haney shooting the 3. So Haney's going to go to the line for a chance at 3 free throws.
Haney's able to knock in that third one. It's going to be interesting to see what the Huskies are going to come up with in the last couple of minutes in this one, Jared. They've got quite a bit of work to be put in, but so far they have just not had an answer on defense to stop the Warriors really from the field or from the three-point line.
It's definitely been an offensive explosion here and a good scoring distribution here for the Warriors today. 24 points for Colligan. He leads the way. Close has got 16. So a good afternoon for Thomas Close. Muckle and McCarthy each have 11 apiece. And Seth Thomas is on a double-double watch. He's got 8 points and 13 rebounds. So now Colligan smartly elects to pull up. And they'll reset with Close. Here's Colligan. He'll drive left. Trying to get it over to Thomas, but stolen away. Here comes Hawes, trying to get it to Haney. Bad pass. Sliding out of bounds is Haney trying to save it. But he caught that thick blue line on the far sideline. Going to be back in the hands of Eastern Connecticut.
Just a little bit of a miscommunication right there. That pass going behind Haney. I like the hustle from Haney, though, to try to keep it in balance. Diving into the bench over by that sideline.
Now Colligan, or Close rather, will reset. Now back over to Colligan. He'll drive baseline. Swings back around. Here's Muckle now. That'll come up short. Tipped out to McCarthy. Now here's Thomas. That one's not going to go, but back into the hands of Thomas.
Have the big man tip it back to Seth Thomas. I like Jake McCarthy keeping the play alive for the Warriors.
Jake McCarthy, another nice afternoon. Now Muckle. He'll pull from 3 and get it. Corey Muckle. Another 3 here in the second half. He's now got 4 of those and 14 points.
These guys are cashing out. Nice for Jake McCarthy. Great a little disturbance on the defense. Give Muckle a chance to knock in that three-point line. The Warriors are in sync. The chemistry has got to be some of the best that we've seen so far at this play. And how about Jake McCarthy coming up with another rebound?
Now here come the Warriors. Close looks to push. Now to Colligan. He'll pull from 3, not get that one to go. The story of the day, Andrew, has been the 3 ball for Eastern Connecticut. They've been on absolute fire here. As that one's not going to go. Rebound into the hands of Jake Colligan.
Muckle now with 14 points. 4 of 8 from the three-point line. He almost gets another one right there, but I think he was trying to psych us out earlier on in this game and kind of show us that he's not really going anywhere.
As now make that 13 threes on the night for the Warriors. As missed shot from Thomas. Wood can't get the offensive rebound put back to go. And now Muckle will control. Now Close has it. Hawes tightly guarding. Now over to Colligan. Thomas overcommits. And now Roberts going to commit the foul on Thomas. And Thomas will go to the free throw line with a chance to get the double-double that we've been talking about. But before that happens, we're going to step aside real quick for the under 4 timeout. 78-54 the score, 3:59 left in the second half. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll be with you for the rest of this contest. 3:59 left to play, 78-54 the score. Seth Thomas now at the free throw line as he's having himself quite the night. 8 points to go along with 13 rebounds. And he misses the first free throw there, so double-double is going to have to wait on this trip to the line.
I think you're going to see it at some point.
Definitely like to see it. Not sure if anyone's aware of the situation, but an amazing rebounding night for Thomas as he works his way with 15 rebounds. Only other player to have 15 rebounds this year for the team was Sharon Fowler. So now Thomas works himself into that category. As now Anderson, he'll rise from 3 and he'll hit. As DJ Anderson, only 1 point up until that point. Now he's got 4.
Well, Thomas and Fowler, both the top 2 leaders in rebounds for this team. 101 defensive rebounds for Seth Thomas coming into this one alone. Tack on those 13 or whichever ones are defensive. What a night for Seth Thomas on the rebound game.
Now Gashi going to try to put up the floater. That won't go into the hands of Anderson now. And now that's poked away by Gashi, and he can't believe it. As officials going to watch him to make sure no arguing is going to come from Sean Gashi.
Smart move by Gashi. I know it's not what you want. An easy takeaway right there. That was an easy layup if the whistle isn't blown. But right now, 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. 79-57.
Now Matt Relilia into the game. As some other players going to get some minutes here in a 22-point game with just 3 minutes remaining. As Fowler also checks in. Now that's going to be stolen away from Muckle for Muckle. Now over to Aurelia. Trying to get it to McCarthy. Poked away. Out to Gashi. He's going to drive left. Roelia back out to Gashi. His three-pointer's good. Warriors pouring it on here in the late stages of this one. As now they've pushed the lead to its largest of the night at 25.
How about Sean Gashi? He wants in on the three-point action. Write him a check.
A lot of players getting involved in that today, Andrew. Of course, 14 threes on the night for the Warriors. Now Fowler on the right wing. Warriors just looking to hold the ball here. And as soon as I say that, Corey Muckle rises up for three and hits. And that'll put a dagger in the hearts of Southern Maine as Muckle just rose up right over the top of a Southern Maine defender and got that one to fall as Muckle now will go to the bench. He'll end up finishing with 17 points and 10 rebounds. So a double-double for Corey Muckle.
He loves to get going in the second half from that three-point line. He's contributing to the team to win. And Jarrett, we mentioned in the pregame earlier that, you know, this could be a changing of the tide, feeding off this crowd, coming home a tough road loss against Southern Maine, but the tables have turned so far, and it's going to show they really took command of this one.
This was something I kind of expected, Andrew. Of course, they thought they should have won that one up in Southern Maine on January 18th. Weren't able to get it done that time. So coming out with a lot of fire here today. Now here's Cassiano. He'll try to get a fader off the back foot. Now good hustle from Fowler as he rips that one right away from Greg Medore. And Sharon Fowler.
Sharon Fowler putting it back up for 2.
Oh, a nice move by Sherburne there in the paint. That one sits up on the rim for a while. And now Fowler is going to lead the push in transition. Over to Cassiano. He's going to pull a corner 3 in. Get it to fall. Nick Cassiano getting into the party in the late stages.
You have more checks, right?
I do.
You might have to write one for Nick Cassiano.
And I've been writing checks for, it seems, just about every player here tonight, Andrew.
Anybody else? 55 seconds left. Who wants it? It's up for grabs.
And someone that wants it for Southern Maine is John Martin as he enters the game and splashes a 3 home. As now under a minute remaining, and that'll just about wrap things up here as Eastern will move now to 9 and 12 overall as Roelia drives, misses, rebound to Fowler. He's going to put that one up and in. And that will move Eastern to 5 and 7 in the Little East Conference as they try to pursue that 6th and final playoff spot. Now Southern Maine will fall to 4 and 9. Their hopes of making the playoffs rather diminished as Martin puts up a shot that hits right off the top of the backboard, hits the cables up there, and it'll go back in favor of Eastern Connecticut. 27.4 to play. Expect Eastern to just hold the ball here.
Jarrett, it is going to come down to be a very interesting ending in the regular season. If things pan out the way they do, it could be a very big game between Keene State and Eastern Connecticut, the last game of the season here at home for that, if potentially how it plays out for that last spot in the playoffs. It's going to be a very big game, and the Warriors are, I don't want to say lucky in a bad way, but pretty lucky that it's going to be at home. A big crowd has got to come out for that one.
It's going to be an exciting one, Andrew. Of course, me and you will be on the call for that one. As, of course, Keene State, always very fun.
Expect that to be a very physical matchup. And, Jarrett, we were talking earlier this week in the editing lab, and I mentioned to you that, of course, the Little East Conference was established in 1986. Since then, the Warriors have not skipped a beat. 33 years of playoff appearances. And this season so far, that record being on the line.
Of course, the Warriors don't want that streak to come to an end as Sherburne works it over half court. As time's winding down here now. As a nice play inside there from Medore. He kisses a high off the square, and he'll go to the line to try to convert the 3-point play.
And, of course, you got to commend the Huskies. Truly great effort as they have not given up really throughout any of this game so far, as that's going to do it.
As final horn sounds on this one. A 94-66 win for Eastern Connecticut. And a very impressive one at that. Corey Muckle finishing with 17 points and 10 rebounds. And Jake Colligan finishing with 24 points, 8 assists. And just a great game overall offensively, Andrew, for this Eastern Connecticut team.
Well, Southern Maine just had no answer for it. They were shooting so well from the three. They were shooting great from the field. It wasn't one thing that the Huskies defense could really hone in on and say, hey, this is what the Warriors are focusing on right now. This is what we need to do. We need to come up with some disruptions over at the three-point line or the field. They couldn't really handle either of those. And then on the defense side for the Warriors, they really controlled the Huskies. They were able to create some challenges, them going to the hoops. They won the rebound game. And it was just it was a great overall offensive effort and defensive effort by the Warriors.
Definitely was for sure. As we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, our sideline reporter Tyler Madden will be joined alongside by starting point guard Thomas Close. Don't go anywhere.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division III. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my.
As we'd like to welcome you back in, ladies and gentlemen, for a post-game interview, as now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Tyler Madden, who's alongside Thomas Close.
Thanks, guys. Joined alongside Tom Close. Tom finished with a new career-high 16 points. What was working so well for you today?
Early on, my teammates helped me get involved, and I hit a couple open shots, and we just got on a roll as a group, came out with a big lead at half.
Talking about that group, 4 players in double figures today, how important was it to not only get this big conference win, but to get everybody involved on the offensive end?
No, yeah, like I've been saying it all year, like we have so many guys that can score on this team, like we're so versatile, and this was a huge win, coming off some losses, like it's a big win to like get our momentum back, so.
Coming up on Wednesday, got that big matchup at Rick, the rematch of the game we remember from in this gym a few weeks ago. What do you have to do to come out with a win in that one?
Just come out and play hard. Like they got some kids that can really score the ball. So just come out, play hard, listen to our coach, and come out and get the win.
Tom, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's send it back up to Andrew and Jarrett.
Thank you, Tyler. A really nice game there from Thomas Close, as he was able to finish with a pretty good night. 16 points on the night, a career high for number 10 in white. So a good conference win for Eastern as they get back on track after a tough loss the other day, as they beat Southern Maine handily here in the Francis E. Geisler Gymnasium. So that's going to do it for us here at ETV Sports. For my partner, Andrew Meehan, our technical director, Kyle Smith, in charge of replays, Ryan Gable, and our director, Emily St. Lawrence, we will see you next time for another exciting conference matchup.